Hello, I'm going to be making kids hats out of the flea material, and I chose this flea material like little ladybugs that you can purchase at Walmart. And also I'm going to use the inner lining, which you also can purchase at Walmart. So I'm going to first start with the tools that I need to do this project. I need scissors, pens, tape measuring, marker, and buttons. If you want to use your buttons, I'm going to use these buttons to put the initials on the hat. Okay, and next I want to measure my material. So I want to make sure it's even. I want to try to do like a 15 and a half inch. So that way I can make sure that I have enough room, so when I make my designs I will have enough room to do my designs. Okay, next you want to start by putting the material together, and you want to make sure that you got it even. And you start, when you use your pens, the pen, and you want to start at the top, using the pen at the top, one in the middle, you really just need to use like 4 pens. That's good enough just to hold the material in place. Same way, I'm going to make sure I measure it, make sure it's the same length like the first one, 15 inch. Okay, I'm going to do this the same way. I'm going to use 4 pens to make sure your material's even. Start at the top. Okay, you want one in the center, and you only just need like 4 pens just to hold your material together. Okay, now that that's finished, I'm going to take my material and I want to make sure that it's inside out. So you want the purple to be on the outside, and you want the ladybugs to be in the middle. Taking my pens out before I start sewing. Okay, you make sure when you start sewing, make sure it's even. Your material is even. You just want to go kind of slow, because you don't want to take off real fast with it. Just want to go slow and make sure that that the material stay in the same place. And as I'm sewing down, I'm taking my pens out. And once you take the pens out, you can start you can start speeding up a little bit when you take your pens out. first side done. Now I'm ready to flip it over and do the next side. Just make sure you just keep it even, keep it lined up so you won't mess your material up. I'm not going to use the pins for this side because it's already lined up real good, so I don't have to use my pins. Okay, and now this deck done, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it back to the right side. Okay, and on the top part, what I'm going to do, I'm going to trim this one piece off of there. Because I want to make sure it's even with my material. Okay, now I'm going to use my marker because I want to do like a 3-inch from the top, because I want to sew across the top, because I want to close my top up so I won't leave a hole in the top of the hat. So I want to go down to about 4 inches, and I'm on a mark right there because I want to make sure I hit the right spot. And I said 4 inches because I want to make sure that I have a lot that I can work with when I make my little designs. And I'm just going to go back in and use my sewing machine, and I'm going to sew under that. And it's kind of thick, so you have to be careful to make sure that you don't break your needle. You just got to go real slow. Now I'm finished with that. Okay, you see how I took and I went across there because I want to make sure this here is going to be for me to use my designs when I get ready to cut. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut all the loose thread off of the project, so to make sure that there's no thread is hanging. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start cutting, and I'm going to make sure I stop right by the thread. I'm going to make sure I don't go over the thread because it will leave a hole in the top of the hat. So you can either cut real small so they can look like little pom-poms, surely the pom-poms. And you can do one at a time because remember, when you use the double material, you got to go back And you got to cut the second piece of the material too. So you just want to make sure you keep everything even. Then what I'm doing now, I'm just taking both of the materials together, and I'm just cutting down all the way down to the thread, just to make sure I don't go past the thread. Okay, now that I got the first part done, I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to do the back part. You see how that look? Now I'm going to do the back part. The same way like I did the front. Just go real slow, make sure you got the material together. Especially when you're working with double material, you want to make sure they both together before you start cutting.
Hello, cousin. Hello, cousin. I'm alright. How you doing? What, do you know what Stuart made for you?
So you just want to make sure you just keep cutting until you get all the way down to the end.
Maybe, what part of town is it? What store? What part?
Okay. I guess gotta go do the end. Make sure you do your end.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what song you wrote it is. Yeah. Oh yeah. So that way. Is that Bullitt County? Is that Bullitt County? That's like at the across the ditch and highway.
Okay.
I'm thinking about transferring those from TJ to those two.
Okay. Now that that's done, both sides are done, you want to take your material.
Is it difficult?
And you want to just kind of like gather it up to make sure that's even. Just gather just the top part of it.
I mean, they won't let you decide for your child whether he needs for another school.
Okay, and then I'm going to use my scrap material that I use. Take the pink and the purple.
Well, I know we have the option of transferring from another student.
And you just want to take that pink one and tie it around first. And that's your hat. It's finished.